Okay, we're going to move on to the next buy or sell segment. This is going to be on the subject of Daniel Bryan and Dolph Ziggler. Word around town is this is going to be a WrestleMania 31 match, and we definitely have that to look forward to. But let's go ahead and talk about how the match started, or at least how the talk about the match started. It started on Twitter. It started with a Twitter exchange between the two potential opponents. Dolph Ziggler reaches out to Daniel Bryan on Twitter. Yo, DB, I was pulling for you, brother. But if you really want to steal the show at WrestleMania, I'm right here and way angrier. And Daniel Bryan, he responds back and they're like, yeah, let's go. And Dolph Ziggler, he releases this long little thing. We signed our lives away. You have no idea, but it's always been there. Introduced as afterthoughts, repeatedly forced to prove why we belong. Told the sky was a limit, yet knowing there was no chance. And basically, oh, we're not looked at as the sons of WWE, so let's go out and tear the house down and prove everyone wrong. So we don't have no idea if this match is actually going to happen, but this is the setup for it, and it does have potential. So, do you buy or sell a matchup between Daniel Bryan and Dolph Ziggler at WrestleMania?
This is no buys. This is sell. And there's a man who are pissed off, and they're going to have this match and prove nothing. Is the reason they are not in the main event, is that because they can't go out there and tear the house down? No.
Yeah, that's the thing that I'm not understanding. Like, what the hell are you going to prove with this match? Like, you set it up in a way where it's like, and I hate this because what they're doing, they're pandering to a certain crowd. Like, oh guys, let's get this match going because we're the two underdogs in WWE, and so what we're going to do, we're going to have a match at WrestleMania to guarantee that at the very least, you know, one of us is going to get a win at the damn show. Like, is that what you're doing? Like, guaranteeing one of you guys get a victory? Like, I don't think anyone backstage in WWE is saying right now, these two guys suck in the ring, but we're going to give them a chance at WrestleMania. And then I'm pretty sure the match will tear the damn house down, may even steal the show. But I guarantee you something that will not happen. It's not going to be a situation where people are backstage like, man, I didn't know they were capable of that. We got to give these guys another look. Like,
right. I
so
completely agree.
I'm not necessarily going to say that I'm not buying a matchup between Dolph Ziggler and Daniel Bryan, but I'm putting it on the shelf, and I'll revisit my purchase at a later date, you know, when they stop finger popping each other on Twitter. You ever seen 21 Jump Street?
And just for anybody that's wondering, yes, Dolph Ziggler was rooting for Daniel Bryan to beat him in the Royal Rumble.
That's the whole thing. Like, I can't get behind some BS like that, because let's go ahead and acknowledge the fact that Daniel Bryan entered the Royal Rumble and was eliminated from the Royal Rumble before Dolph Ziggler even got into the damn ring. Dolph Ziggler came in at number 30. Daniel Bryan came in at number 10. And Dolph Ziggler, he sends a, oh, yo, I was rooting for you. So you mean to tell me, while you were backstage, literally every single second Daniel Bryan was in the match, you still had a chance at victory, but you were rooting for him? And this is why, this is the buildup you're giving me for a match?
Like, Dolph Ziggler's like, you let me down by not beating me in the match.
Yeah, again, that doesn't really... Again, I agree with you guys. You know, that doesn't really make much sense. They're kind of just having a match to have a match, and it's like, that's not a rivalry that you're going to buy into. That's not something that you're going to sit there and say, oh, yeah, you know, man, what a feud they've got going here with these two guys. These are two guys who, to me, neither guy really needs to turn heel. So why even bother with this? I mean, I'd rather see them become a team and try to make some movement of why they are the anti, and why they are not the, you know, the love sons, and that they, you know, want to make a difference. Like, not necessarily a stable. I'm not going there. I'm just saying, like, maybe a tag team of something, kind of like what Awesome Truth was, except as a babyface team, because these guys want to be featured better. But it's like, they've both been world champions, and Bryan got such a great, you know, moment last year. So their ability to say that they don't get that appreciated spot is kind of not out the window, but it's less relevant than it may have been a year and a half ago or so, especially for Bryan. Now, in terms of Ziggler, I see his point more. I love both these guys, and their match would be excellent quality in the ring. But in terms of story and substance, there just isn't any there with the way that these current characters are. But if I was to say, what I would rather see, I'd rather see them become a damn tag team and try to beat people together or something. If they're going to be like buddy-buddy, then why would they be facing each other? Because then one guy wins and one guy loses, and that's that. So one guy gets a Mania moment, the other guy doesn't.
And let me just say, Dolph Ziggler is, to use a phrase that someone on this show has coined, Dolph Ziggler is the epitome of not trying to change the system, but trying to change who's benefiting from it. Just so we're clear.
Yeah, and I see a lot of people like they like the matchup between Dolph Ziggler and Daniel Bryan, but here's the thing. We all know they deserve better than that. We all know it. And one thing that I know that you guys may not know, I'm speaking to the people who are going crazy for the potential matchup between Dolph Ziggler and Daniel Bryan. This is the equivalent of someone throwing a kid a lollipop and a coloring book just to keep them busy. And you know what? It's going to work. If they have this match, it's going to tone down the whole complaining about Daniel Bryan not being in the WWE World Heavyweight Championship match. It's going to tone down the outrage, and people are going to break their damn backs jumping at the chance to get on Twitter or get in front of a camera or get to a microphone and talk about, like, force everyone to believe that was the match of the night. Like, they're going to say it over and over and over again.
They could get that WrestleMania 10 minutes and it's still going to be the best.
Yeah, and the thing about it is, like, haven't we seen before, like, shit, didn't they do that same thing with CM Punk? Like, good job, kid. Pat on the back. You got the match of the night. Like, you should be happy about that. And
right, and that's why
what does it mean?
I loved CM Punk in what he had to say in terms of he was more frustrated that he didn't get to main event because he knew he was that good and he knew he deserved that. Whereas these guys are almost like, yep, like, we face each other, so we're getting what, like, no, that's, if these guys do deserve better, then they should be asking for what they deserve, not just saying, well, if we face each other, then that's good enough. Like, no, if you want better, get it. Get
Dolph
better.
Ziggler would rather complain on Twitter than the check shows up and he goes, oh yeah, that's right.
Right. Yeah, no, it's true. It's very true. And I guess I've already mentioned, we've all said it, this will very likely be a great quality in-ring match.
Yes.
But if there's no substance to the story, how into it can you really get? You might watch it a couple of times and say, wow, that was really impressive, or wow, that was really cool. But, like, again, how behind this match can you get if you're not a hardcore fan who knows everything about Daniel Bryan and Dolph Ziggler? If you're just a regular old casual viewer who, is watching WrestleMania, you're going to be like, wow, that was cool. What's next? Main event? I care more about that because it's for something. And if they turn one of these guys heels, it's not needed right now. So it's just not the kind of match that they need right now. Like, again, these guys could have this match if the situation called for it, but it doesn't right now.